everyone, it's me, Karen, with today's reflection for Wednesday, the 19th of April. Well, it's been nearly 2 months since my last midweek reflection, and what a lot has happened since then. Lent has come and gone, Mother's Day has passed, Easter has passed, the clock's changed, the days are getting longer and the nights are getting lighter. Spring has sprung. And finally, we're getting a bit better weather. The trees are beginning to bud and daffodils and tulips are out and everything is growing again. I love spring and early summer. It's my favourite time of year. Everything's so joyful. I hate the cold and dark of winter, but spring is about new life and joy and everything fresh and new. The lambs are outside in the fields, and my dad has dozens of baby pigeons in his loft. And there are things to look forward to again. Nearly my entire family have birthdays in spring or early summer. And this week alone, it's my sister, my nephew, a cousin, and a couple of other people's birthday that I know. Easter is a time of renewal and new life. And it's also at this time of year when people start to think about bringing a new lease of life to their homes. Many people still follow the tradition of a big spring clean, or a deep clean at least. I love having some time off at Easter time and tackle some of the areas in my house, which I don't normally get round to cleaning as often. I clean all the windows inside and out, gave the car a thorough clean inside and out, scrub the floors rather than just a quick mop, and tidy the garden, wash the curtains, wipe the skirting boards, and so on. Some people even do some DIY, which they've been putting off, and even think about putting their house on the market. The extra bank holidays in May are always a good excuse to get started on a project. With all the cleaning and tidying going on, people start to think about decluttering. It's common for people to have a big clear out when they're doing a big spring clean and pay several visits to a charity shop and the recycling centre. I have been known to frequent those places rather a lot myself. I absolutely hate clutter and mess and like things to be tidy and in order and minimal. Cleaning, tidying and organising one's home, especially in an eco-friendly way, has become a big business in recent years, helped by social media influencers and the plethora of books published and the TV shows which have gurus and personalities with their tips, such as Marie Kondo, Mrs. Hinch, Nancy Birtwistle, Stacey Solomon and Dilly Carter. A few years ago, I started looking into minimalism as a lifestyle choice after I'd moved into my new house and I said I never wanted it to be cluttered and full of stuff. Marie Kondo famously told us to disregard that which we do not know to be useful or which does not spark joy. Our lives have become stressed and busy, and there's much clutter in our lives, both real and metaphorical in our heads. In a society that pushes mass consumerism and where people judge others, not by whether that person is a good person, but by their possessions and their wealth. People think that fulfillment has to come from wealth and material goods, stuff, the best car, clothes, jewellery, handbags, or the latest technology. But really, this stuff just clutters our lives. We have to store it, we have to clean it, we have to make sure it's protected, it's looked after, it's not stolen, and it gets in the way of what's really important. Each additional item we have is something that we have to pick up, walk around, dust, clean, and keep in storage. It takes up our time and it takes up our attention. And these things can stop us from seeing the big picture. Decluttering has been proven to have many benefits for mental health and having more physical space, giving more space to breathe. when we can focus on the more important things in life: family, friends, our health, our faith. It's about being mindful and living with intentionality rather than rushing from place to place and thing to thing. We have more time. Having lots of possessions also impacts the environment. First, there's the manufacturing and the shipping of goods. Then there's the energy required to build and run shops, or the delivery of the items. Then there's the energy used up and the pollution created when we go shopping. The energy used to run our devices and heat our homes full of stuff. And when we're done with this stuff, it gets thrown away and has to go to landfill. If we own less, that's less waste happening at each of these different points in the chain. One thing we can always do to help the environment is donate items we no longer need or want to the charity shop. We can sell them, we can repurpose them, or we can take them to the recycling centre to be recycled. So remember the 4 R's: reduce, reuse, recycle, repurpose. So what does the Bible say about clutter, consumerism, and our obsession with stuff, and about living your life more intentionally and minimally? When I looked, I found a lot of different passages, far too much for today, but I have picked a few verses to quote to get you thinking. The first one is from Luke chapter 3, verse 11. John answered, "Anyone who has 2 shirts should share with the one who has none, and anyone who has food should do the same." Secondly, from Matthew 6, verses 19 to 21. "Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moths and vermin destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where moths and vermin do not destroy, and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." And finally, from Matthew 19, verse 21, Jesus answered, "If you want to be perfect, go sell your possessions and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. Then come, follow me." So today, in this time when we are spring cleaning and decluttering, I'd like you to take time to think about what's cluttering up your life, both physically and mentally. What can we get rid of and try to live with less and live more intentionally like Jesus did? Have a good week, everyone.